Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the 228H Big Hat. Now, I ran into a little snafu. But before I tell you that, let me show you the actual ventilator. It came out really nice. I got all the rust off, soaked in some evapor rust. And then what I do is I use super glue and I just blew them and put a little oil on them, as you can see right around that edge, just to keep the rust away. I have all the parts cleaned up. I got the rust out of the fuel cap. This was soaked in evapor rust. I have the generator cleaned up. We're going to rebuild that. I'll show you that. The spring, the pricker rod. I got the check valve out. It was pretty clogged up, so I got this out, cleaned up. It's free, and I have a nitro O-ring on that. I have that little retainer plate all cleaned up. All the rust is gone. It's got a little pitting in it, but I'm okay with that. I got the frame cleaned up. It came out really nice. And I did something different this time. I soaked it in evapor rust, but it was an old batch that was pretty spent. It was working, but it was really slow. So I used some citric acid, and that's going to probably be my go-to most of the time now, because it's way cheaper to use than anything else. Like evapor rust is like $25 a gallon. Even vinegar, it's like $4 a gallon. Citric acid, I think I paid $7 for a pound. And I only put like 3 tablespoons in like 2.5, 3 gallons of water. And it works great and it works fast. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So, ran into a little snafu. So you remember I was going to save the paint. I actually did a little cleaning of it. You can't even see anymore. What ended up happening was I soaked this in evapor rust to get rid of the rust on the bottom, which it did, but it also attacked the paint. I've never had evapor rust attack the paint. As you can see on this cap, it didn't attack the paint. But for some reason, on this fount, it attacked the paint. It really kind of messed it up, so I have to strip this down. I don't know why. These are powder coated, and it really shouldn't have done that, but it did. So again, I don't know why, but so now this just turned into a full-blown restoration. As you can see, I had the valve cleaned and everything, so the valve is actually loose. So I have that all cleaned up, and I have to strip this down, prime it, and paint it. So I won't bore you watching any of that nonsense. Basically, I'll bring you back in about 3 days for me, but it's going to be just a couple seconds for you. So I'll be back. All right, I'm back. So I was actually, it's only the next day. I was able to get that done in 1 day. Conditions were right. I was able to get the primer, the top coat, and cure it. I cure it at 200 degrees for 1 hour. Then I rub it out. I was able to get it all together. Came out nice. Got some fingerprints on it, but we're okay. So one other thing I want to mention, if I remember, I'll put a picture in. So the way it's lined up, let me see if I can get this here. I have 2 other 220Ks, and it seems like all the Ks, not Ks, Hs, the valve is sticking out like over here, okay, so in this direction, and sort of like that. And the main bunghole is offset on these. It's not in the center. And when it's all together, to me, it looks like it's wrong. I'm all about that, everything kind of got to be lined up. That comes from my dad. I mean, my dad was a carpenter, a bricklayer, a diesel engineer, a contractor. I mean, my dad did it all. That's, kind of who I am. A mini dad. um, but he could tell if something wasn't straight and something was, wasn't level, wasn't plumb. He just, he closed one eye and he looked and he's like, yeah, that's not right. So I kind of inherited that trait. So I'm not putting it back together exactly the way it was when I took it apart. Like I said, I'll try to throw a picture in there. So here's where we're at. We got it's painted, it's ready to go together. First thing I want to do is rebuild the generator. So let me move this over. Get this over here. Where did I put that wall? Give me 1 second. All right. So we have the generator tube. We got the nut. We got the pricker rod. And we have the spring. And we have the cardboard packing, which is in extremely great shape. But we're going to do the bronze wool wrap because I like it. And I feel like it stops that pulsing. So we'll get a little piece of bronze wool. You don't need much. Let me turn this down a little bit. All right. So what we're going to do is probably only need about that much, which size a little less than a silver dollar. And we're going to wrap it around right below where this bulge is. Just kind of twist it on there. Now even that might be too much, but we'll see. So you end up with that. We'll get our pricker rod. Get that centered in there. Oops. I think there may be a screen in there. Let me take this apart. I found that some of these later ones, they have a little brass mesh in there to stop that pulsing action. Let's see. Oh yeah, I feel it. I should have noticed that when I cleaned it. All right. Let me get a little piece of wire. Come on out of there. I know you're in there. There it is. They put this little piece of brass mesh in there. And that's supposed to stop that pulsing also. All right, let's put this back together. Hopefully I didn't mess up my pricker tip. No, I did not. Cannot see if it's popping out. All right, I got to take a look with a light right in there to make sure the prick is coming out. I'll be right back. It is poking through, so we're good. So we'll set that aside. Clean this up. All right, let's start some assembly. Back up a little bit. All right, so what we're going to do first is we are going to put this little cut off plastic top to protect the newly painted fount. We are going to put our frame rest on. And we're going to get our frame. And I'm not sure what this is called, but that goes on next. Then we get our little jam nut. A little too tight to slide out my plastic. All right, make sure everything is lined up, looking good. Check our alignment one more time. Looks pretty good. All right. Next, we'll get our fuel knob and indicator. Let's make sure it's all the way off. It is. Let me just tighten that on there. Okay. That's looking good. Now we'll get our generator on. And like I've shown before, the tip cleaner, which is this little knob right here, you turn that up. And that releases the eccentric. It pushes the eccentric up. And that's where you're going to hook on that little hook. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Probably not, because my hands are always in the way. Woo! The trials and tribulations of trying to film while putting together a lantern. Alright, so now once I have it in there, I'll grab the tip cleaner and push it down. And that'll lock it in. Then we'll tighten our generator down. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to put back the check valve. So let me get my check valve tool. Excuse me. You all seen me use this before. If you're going to rebuild these lanterns, you definitely want one of these check valve tools. Now I have the O-ring on there. You don't want to go crazy cranking this down, and you don't want to compress it too much, right? So I'll just hand tighten it just like that. All right. You put this away. Next, we are going to put in the pump. Now, where is it? Actually, I'm going to put in the stem because I always forget to put that in. And then I have to take the pump back out. Alright, get that in. I have it soaking in oil. I did have to put a new cup on it. And that's one of the cups I made because it was, the other one fell apart. Alright, now we'll just fit that on there. Come on now. Boy, they are stiff when I first make them. And I can't see what I'm doing. I am getting oil all over myself. Alright. Slip that in. Line up the holes. Beautiful. get our little clip. Let me put this over here. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay, we got that in. Get some of this oil off me. Let's check it out. Oh, yeah. Nice. Nice, Captain. Nice. All right. So got my little funnel graciously gifted to me from Sean, Shovelhead 8. And it's a made in Canada. Oh, yeah. And this is felt. This is a felt lining in there. And that will take out minute amounts of water. Okay, you're not putting a tablespoon of water in there, but minute amounts, you'll be golden. And what been using now is I have, this is 12 ounces. I just fill that up, gives me just enough. And yes, I still have my very cool antique oil can. All right. That tight. We all good? Yep. All right. Of course, I'm woefully unprepared and I don't have my mantle, so let me grab those. Right. So I got these American mantles. These were $1.79 for two. And like I had mentioned previously, I don't know why the prices went up on the Colemans, but they sure did. And, you know, when you have so many lanterns and you're testing them out, I feel like it's a waste of money. So I'm going to try these cheapo ones and see what they look like. I have tried the Peerless, and they do work great. And they're a little bit cheaper than the Colemans. So let's get these tied on. Hopefully they work. I don't see why not. Oh, and the advantage of these, again, the price, $1.79, and I got them at Ace Hardware. So there was no online ordering, shipping kind of stuff. All right, cut off the little tag ends. Try not to cut your mantle. Ooh. All right, fuel valve is tight. We're recording. Let's give her a few pumps. if we did everything right, I should hear. Is that valve on? Oh, that valve was on. Boy, that was a mistake. Alright, well, better you watch me than you do it. There is fuel leaking everywhere. Sorry for blocking the camera. Just wanna light it up. Probably gonna explode on me. These have a very big mesh in them. I don't know how bright these are gonna be, but we'll find out. They're smoky. It's a smoking. It's probably fueling that generator. Yeah, see that? Yeah, a lot of fuel leaked out of there. Man, that's not good. Trying to burn it off without it being too much. Make sure that generator's tight. Should be. Yeah, that's tight. I just dripped too much fuel down there. I hope that's not leaking. I don't think so. I don't hear anything. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, this one's gonna give me a problem, eh? I don't hear anything. I do not hear fuel coming out. Huh. And that's why you buy cheap mantles. Wow, what's going on there? I do not hear fuel coming out. We got pressure. Huh. Tip cleaner's down. Let's just try to light it. Maybe there's too much background noise. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I hear it now. That was odd. Maybe had a little, when I ran the tip cleaner back and forth, it might have cleaned it up. Well, we got ignition. That one was a little tricky. Put its big hat back on. And there you have it, folks. Had a little tiny setback there, but worked out good. I'm digging it. Nice. My first 228H. Yeah. And if I don't know if you can see what I mean about where the valve and everything was lined up with the decal and stuff. I don't know. I just like it a little better like that. And then it's lined up with the rail on the frame. So yeah. Well, there you have it. Couple little tweaks here and there, but you could also notice there's no pulsing going on, and that's why I like to use those the bronze wool in the generator. So there you have it, the 228H big hat Coleman lantern. Oh yeah, it goes up into the collection. Oh yeah. So for those of you that had asked, I do have when I bought this house, gosh, I don't know, close to 10 years ago, 8 years ago, whatever it was, I built a kind of big wall unit kind of thing. It's probably like 15 feet long, and I got all shelves on it and stuff, and my TV's in there. And I put them, all the lanterns I have are on top of those shelves, that shelf. And then all along in my living room, there's like a setback where I'm starting to put the lanterns up there. So yes, I do display them all in my living room. So there you have it, folks. Thanks for coming along. You know I'm going to say it. I'm sending you all much, much love and appreciation, my brothers and sisters. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't make the same mistakes I did, and we'll see you on the next one.